So Fatman.
So Sleazy.
What?
I hear typing and nobody there. It's a ghost.
It's weird.
It's a ghost.
I don't understand this. What the hell is going on?
Oh, it's just Canadian internet.
It wasn't, but that's what I'm going with.
Well, I mean, Canadians, they love TNA, right? Because it's a Canadian company, right?
That's a good segue.
Right?
Actually, I have a great segue. This TNA card gave me some history on the scorecard involving you.
Ooh, well, let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fatman.
Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. First of all, it is the 2024 Wrestling Show Hall of Famer, the Proud Papa, the man who does not do any alleged substances with Tony Khan. It is.
Oh, I do the same ones you do, though.
I did not say you don't do them. I just said you don't do it with Tony Khan. Mr. Ryan Williams is here.
Hey, you also, you know who Mr. Ryan Williams is?
Ooh.
He's Kevin J. Callis guy.
Wow!
But shit came in.
Affirmative.
It's nice on the back. I got the Wrestle Trivia logo. It's the shirt he sent me. I was going to bust it out trivia, but it's so long away. I had to pop it off now.
Awesome.
So his
you son of a bitch.
Wrestle Trivia on Pro Wrestling Tees. Go check it out. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. We'll put
Comfy as shit, man.
What is it? Wrestle Trivia on Pro Wrestling?
Wrestle Trivia. Yeah. No, I'm saying son of a bitch because I have my girlfriend's Spectrum login because I refuse to pay for Spectrum Internet anymore. And of course, since I'm on the home internet, I don't get CW, so I can't watch NXT.
Oh,
everything is Netflix in Canada now, and it's fantastic, boss. I'm not even gonna lie.
It makes me highly upset.
You know what it makes me feel like? Moving to Canada.
Man, you ain't that far.
I'm closer.
You are definitely closer now. Yes. Wrestle Trivia, ProWrestlingTees.com/Wrestle Trivia. The link is in all of the chat right now. But yeah, awesome. I'm glad you got it. I'm gonna have to go get some absolute merch. Maybe one of these days they have Wrestling Jeopardy Champion shirt.
Dude, I popped for that shirt too. Half of me wanted that one. I figured I was getting this one, and I love it. So, like, everybody's going to ask, well, who the fuck is Kevin J. Callis? And I'm going to be like, ha. Hey, man, I'm one of the few. I was in, like, the ground floor when this channel started, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Just for looking for our own trivia. It sounds cool. Like, I mark out for random shit like this.
Well, we'll definitely throw him as much business as we possibly can because he's been great for us.
Absolutely.
Great to him. I know that tonight, I believe, Dietz is going over.
Yes, they're live at
doing it now at Jimmy's Famous Seafood in Baltimore. Not a sponsor, but he's been giving us updates. He's tied for fourth. I told him to do better. He's like, man, it's really hard.
You should demand the questions from him, and then watch them be like stupid, easy questions, and it's like, fuck you, Dietz.
How much do you know if he's doing a prize right now with him?
I have no clue.
Let him know. Oh fuck, I can't get to him today. Shit. Well, never mind. We're pulling for you, Dietz. We're all in this together. But if you don't win, don't come back.
If you bring shame on the family,
we don't
shame
have
on this family.
Yeah. If you ain't first, you're last.
That is true.
We don't book the second world's greatest, strongest man.
Fuck. Calm down, Vince McSleazy.
Right? TNA Genesis, first pay-per-view we're actually going to, review for the year because
New Japan doesn't count.
right? Fuckers.
Sorry, man. Comes out at a late time and fuck New Japan.
I'm not saying fuck
And
New
also fuck
Japan.
New Japan.
I'm not saying fuck New Japan. I'm saying fuck all my other coworkers who decided to get, quote, sick and me working 60 hours a week so where I couldn't fucking watch it.
To be fair,
One
of our coworkers got sick to the point where it put the entire family out for a long time. So it whatever it is, the norovirus or whatever, it's going around and it's kicking people's ass. So let's get right into it. Because
Oh wait, normally Ryan does this, doesn't he? Or do you want me to do it?
I got it up here. Like I know I can do it.
with a cigarette hanging off the
Absolutely.
just enjoying the laugh, enjoying the time. I mean, I need a little bit of a southern drawl.
Hey, listen.
Ryan, how dare you do drugs on the show?
What do you mean? You don't understand the amount of drugs I've done on this show.
Like everyone
Ryan.
here,
As I'm popping pills. Ryan, how dare you do drugs on the show?
we're all doing drugs on the show. I'm doing caffeine. You're doing fucking pills.
I'm doing Tylenol PM.
So I'll get this out of the way. Sleazy, I'm going to do the math eventually. But with there was 2 scorecards this weekend.
Mhm.
Battle in the Valley, New Japan,
Mhm.
Genesis, TNA.
Yep.
You won both.
Oh, it won Battle in the Valley too? I didn't even
Yes.
look.
Battle in the Valley wasn't scored right away.
Yeah.
With your Battle in the Valley win, it is your second Grand Slam.
Oh, sweet.
With your Genesis win, you jump into third all time over Dietz. You were tied with, he was ahead of you with 15 this weekend. And because of your 2 wins, you get a second Grand Slam and you jump ahead of him. Now you're third all time in scorecard wins.
Behind you and fuck Albert, right?
Behind me and fuck Albert. Yeah. And it's just funny. So
Hashtag fuck Albert.
you and Dietz have flip flopped so many times for like the errors. Like
Mhm.
you, 5 WWE, 3 AEW, 5 TNA, 2 Ring of Honor, and 2 New Japan. Dietz got 3 WWE, 3 AEW, 4 TNA, 5 New Japan, and 1 Ring of Honor.
So he's the New Japan mark now.
Well,
Yes.
Chip. So now that I got that little segue out of the way,
I heard Chip, and then he stops.
That's it.
January 19th,
Okay, wait. Hold on. Let me talk about Chip for a minute. So,
Oh, we're throwing Chip under the bus.
We
on
are.
this show?
So the sports podcast, remember you right after the show, we're going to actually hold off until, Thursday, because Heavy G's not feeling well. I actually met up with him a couple nights ago for dinner. He goes, ever since then, he's felt like shit.
maybe wear a condom next time we fuck him and don't give him chlamydia.
Right?
It wasn't chlamydia, it was gonorrhea. Anyway,
It was syphilis.
it was gonorrhea for herpelitis. But anyway, so we're messing in the sports show. That's a little plug, so just look out for the sports show on Thursday. Best darn sports show area too. But I posted some news in the chat, and Chip's all like, "When did this player come back to this team?" And I was just, "Oh wait, never mind. NBA TV is playing an old game." And I'm like, "How drunk are you right now?"
6 out of 10.
And he just went LOL. So I'm like, so very, very drunk. That's my Chip story for tonight. So you see your door just open. I'm assuming it's because of one thing. Show her.
Yes.
You got this. Don't pick her up because I know she can't get picked up.
He picked her up on After Dark. He picked her up on
Oh,
After
no,
Dark.
No. She gets picked up.
Yeah, we had to pick up on After Dark, so like it's okay.
Sleazy's face is all red. It's the Wiggies! Hi, Wiggles! I will see you in a few weeks, Wiggles! She's like, what the fuck is going on? Hi, Wiggles.
What is going on here?
We ready to go now?
Goodness.
We good?
Sleazy's winded.
Yes.
It's like he just walked
She's
up.
a fucking 50-pound bag of rice or something now.
It's like he walked up 2 stairs.
Is Michelle home?
No, Michelle's not home. She's
Well, you said
in.
50-pound bag of rice, so.
Oh, take it easy, goddamn.
How do you think I get through these long, cold, and lonely nights?
By the way, I know we're going off tangents.
Really?
When Sleazy's headset
Me
was off,
fucking
I said,
a 50-pound bag of rice because I'm lonely? Yeah.
hey, it absorbs all the moisture.
How do I get through this? Okay, man? She's been gone for like 2 weeks.
What in the fleshlight hell have you created?
It smells like her.
January 19th, 2025. TNA brings us Genesis. Live from the Curtis Cotwell Center. Wikipedia stated an attendance of 4,032 people.
That's more than any AW show this year.
Anybody watch the pre-show?
No.
A lot of stuff happened, though, didn't it?
A fair bit in terms of like nonsense. Anything that I can bring up, I just got Wikipedia just to give me my match card for sympathies.
Didn't PCO bust up the...
No, that was at
That was
GCW.
GCW, and I can't believe we're going to talk about that.
Right?
Jake something defeated Ashante the Adonis, immediately beginning the NXT crossover, which I loved.
Right.
And Frankie Kazarian defeated Leon Slater. Opening contest for the brand new, pretty looking X Division title, because the old one looked like shit, apparently. So it's still the X Division title. It's just the X Division title for the defending champion, which was Moose.
iPhone.
Against Ace Austin. Fatman.
14 minutes and 45 seconds. Christian Thompson of TGRWrestling.com gave us 3 3/4.
Oh, the deets.
The deets. Gave it the deets.
So I'll start. It is weird for me in 2025 to praise up an opening X Division championship contest still, and Moose is the champion. And I have been accustomed to Samoa Joe being my fucking standout X Division champion because it's still in my mind about weight limits. And since 2002, this whole division has always been about no limits.
I was going to say, what about the whole no limits thing?
The 3 people that I found with that has that championship that redefined that actual concept was Abyss, Joe, and now Moose.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, one of the most decorated fucking X Division champions of all time. You know,
AJ Styles.
Yeah, it turned into like
who'd he ever beat?
Yeah, right. Who'd he ever fucking beat? Not Undertaker.
Jared's guitars, first off.
It's barely.
Moose is so good that they gave him a knockoff Bloodline stable. Okay,
so
okay, fair.
It's Batman.
Legit, no. So legit. So, like when I heard this WWE TNA crossover was happening, the first thing I said was, "If Moose isn't the first entrant in the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna be so pissed." Like,
no, that's not who should be the first one.
Who?
Josh Alexander.
I just think Moose's entrance fits the Royal Rumble as number 1. Just his entrance as the number 1 entrant just fits. But
I think they'll both be in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, well, I think they will both will too.
It's the most star-studded Rumble is ever going to be.
Yep.
I would agree with that.
Anyway, as for this match, 4 stars, banger opener, great opener. Right kid died.
Really? I didn't see that online though. There was a bit of hubbub about it should have been Ace Austin for the honor of Chris Bay.
Sometimes,
agree with that, but
sometimes the heel has to win. So I thought it was the right. I thought the right kid died. Plus, how about we get into this now? Because I'm actually curious. I'm curious what you guys think. With the WWE TNA crossover, do you think WWE has input in TNA creative?
No. Well,
you can't say no because the real answer is kinda. Because if they're fucking with WWE names, they're automatically gonna be like, do this. So to a point, yes.
You're right.
As in-
Absolutely right.
So, okay, like what I'm thinking is, as in this one, Moose being the X Division champion, like the Chris Bay storyline. Maybe that's what it was leading to, but maybe WWE's like, well, we want Moose as champion. Do you think WWE had input in that? Just thinking of it. Just. I'm not saying they did or didn't. There's no proof of that.
Here's what they could have done, though.
Do you think they have input as who their champions are?
Okay. First of all, that's a very good point. I think that if you're going to pull the trigger on a guy like Moose, it doesn't matter if he's champion because he's an attraction in himself.
I agree with that point. But as we look down this card with who the champions are, I think we should ask another question. Did WWE have a hand in this? So, okay, so 4-star. It's Sleazy, I guess. Go ahead and
3.5 stars. It was good. It was good opener. Little too much on the garbage towards the end in terms of people getting involved, but it kind of makes sense with the storyline. And I didn't like it in the encapsulation of the match, but I liked it that it followed through into the second match. So it's kind of like it was a wash in that respect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they did a great job of working together. I am absolutely surprised that Ace didn't win here. I would have to go to your point about if they want to keep the title on Moose, he could have just won it back at a taping. Just beforehand.
Just have a feel good moment and then
just finish the story.
Right.
You know.
Hey Ryan, I heard you like tag matches. I do, other Ryan. Tag team match.
It just doesn't feel the same without me saying
Josh Archer, man, that's all. You like this, Barry? Of course, other Barry. Like
Hi, Barry.
Impromptu tag team match. Eric Young and Steve Macklin versus The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers with Alicia Edwards, Fatman.
7 minutes, 30 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3.5 stars. Ryan, you're the tag team wrestling enthusiast.
I am. To touch on what Sleazy said just beforehand, the nonsense made sense not only for the storyline, but what immediately followed, which was this tag match. I personally think the Ron kids died, but I love what they're doing with the system. And I think even with them without the belts, they should be the... I don't like the cracks early, and there's no reason for Moose to be like, hey, dickheads, great, you don't got belts. You should at least be fucking winning. But I think the Ron kids, that's about it. I mean, like, I like the match. I just thought the Ron kids died. Sleazy.
It was fine.
Fuck you.
Right? Cool. I don't know. It just didn't. It wasn't my type of match, I guess. I don't know. It was just one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. I guess this is how we're gonna do this. I like the setup for it, but once again, the match was fine. It was just nothing really memorable about it.
I gave it the Mike Sanders.
Oh, me too, by the way. Sorry.
Well, the Mike Sanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it to Mike Sanders. I literally said nothing special. Right kids died, I thought, because if you're gonna push Macklin and Eric Young, I mean, you gotta give him the win here. So I again, nothing noteworthy. It was above average. It was Mike Sanders.
Let's see if I can do this. Ready? Hey Ryan, I heard you like tag team matches.
Hey Sleazy, you're the woman's wrestling enthusiast.
I am.
Spitfire defends the tag team titles against Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance with the personal concierge.
9 minutes, 35 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3 stars. Sleazy, you're the woman's wrestling enthusiast.
It's like they were on fast forward. Does that make any sense? It was a decent little match, 3 stars, but I don't think the winner was really in doubt here. I think I did on the scorecard. I did pick the Elegance only because I thought it would be an interesting.
Because it just kind of made sense. They've been hot shotting it so much. Why wouldn't to me? I thought Team Elegance should have won.
Right. So I'm a little surprised that they kept it, but it was fine. It was enjoyable. It was better than the previous tag match.
Batman?
I gave it to Mike Sanders. Copy paste notes from above tag match. Except I think the wrong kids died here. I think it would have been better for the Elegance to win. I don't know. As soon as they came on the Cowboys cheerleaders, I'm like, well, they're going to lose.
The stink was on them.
Stink.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it was there. It was a match that happened.
It happened. I get that most people would probably see the tag titles not really be in danger here. Again, for me and New Fatman specifically, we thought the other team definitely should have won. But I think as a whole, they keep trying with these belts. I think people just don't care about the belts. And like they haven't cared about the belts for a bit. Like again, with the hot shot of it all the time with them, it's just kind of there hasn't been serious threats outside of the one angle that's always been going on in the women's knockouts division.
Yeah.
I have to look here because I'm not 100% sure.
Master Slamovich and Alicia Edwards had them forever, and they've been trading them back and forth with Spitfire and in some version of a fucking Dark Carnival with Rosemary.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and with all due respect to the entire tag division in general, but if you take a look at the people that have won it, you just mentioned Masha, but like if you look at the entirety of their run since 2021, even I want to say, 2021 was really the last time like a true tag team, not just two people thrown together that were singles wrestlers, won it, and that was the Inspiration.
Yep.
Really?
Like
hold on now, because I'm looking at it too, and I think that's the most insane
Death Dolls
thing
was thrown together. The Coven was thrown together. MK Ultra were two singles wrestlers that were thrown together. Decay. Well, you might be able to make a justification for the Decay.
Yeah, so if you make a justification for Decay, you have to make a justification for Death Dolls because Decay evolved from Death Dolls, which evolved from Rosemary and Valkyrie.
Right. So, I mean, but in the grand scheme of things, they're all really good singles wrestlers that there was nothing for them, so they
I reject your concept just because as much as me and Fatman used to rave or talk about Kier Hogan and Tasha Steelz when they brought
literally was about ready to fucking say that.
Okay.
Was legit ready to say that.
And who beat Fire and Flame? For Decay. So like these belts have only been back for 4 years now. Since they've been back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Spitfire winning them back for the second time is the 15th reign in 4 years.
But even with Fire and Flavor, if you want to go down that road, like
I want to go down that road.
So each reign's averaging about 3.5 months.
Right. That's another thing. So they're getting passed around like fucking. Never mind.
They got started in the start of 24. They got passed around like Missy Hyatt did in the locker room back in the day.
I was not going to say.
I was whatever. I don't care if this ain't after dark. I'm a rip. But yeah, there was 3 short reigns. The last 2, the Militia, which was Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich, was 133 days. Mm-hmm. Spitfire have had the belt for 131 days now.
Yeah.
The Elegance team were the team, statistically speaking, to be the next one to get a 3.5 month reign. Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
So from that, we go to the shocking match of the evening, I guess, in terms of like it actually happened.
Actually, I
Tessa
was going to
Blanchard.
say. Okay.
Yeah, but like it's 2025. Welcome your former TNA World Champion Tessa Blanchard versus Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Batman.
20 minutes and 15 seconds. Christian Thompson gave us 4.5 stars. Sleazy,
Wow.
you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
Tessa Blanchard hits the same fucking nerve on me that
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul does. Like,
wow.
That
All she did was
woman.
be a little racist.
Yeah, well, more than a little racist.
Hermie.
Her. You too, fucker. No. No, she is probably one of the top talents that isn't signed to WWE or AEW right now. And it is not shocking at all that she's back in TNA because they really don't have anybody that's that top tier as much as she is. But in the same breath, God damn it. The match was great.
God damn
it. It pisses me off almost because it was so good. You know, I gave it 4.25. I think that Jordan Grace did everything she could to put. Here's a stupid thing about me. I forgot that fucking Jordan didn't have the title anymore.
Yep.
Because I was like, wow, they're gonna put the title on Tessa in their first match back. Excuse me. And then like, oh, you dumbass. So what else is new? But which makes the finish make more sense, and having Tessa go over Jordan on her way out makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the end of Jordan Grace in
100%
in TNA. So
spoiler.
She goes out on her back. Yeah.
So spoiler, there was a video, basically TNA Wrestling releases video of Jordan Grace backstage saying goodbye.
Yeah.
So TNA Wrestling released that. So this was her last match.
Wasn't the only person on the card. Last contract.
Nope.
Spoiler, motherfucker.
Funny, Sleazy gave this 4.25.
Why is that?
So did I.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I literally put it. I'm not even joking. As much as Sleazy hates Tessa, you can't deny how great she is in the ring, and this match proves it. Like you can't. Like she's so good. And it makes sense for her because I think why TNA signed her again was because they knew Jordan was leaving, so they needed a name.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's why they got her.
So, yeah,
Who's the bigger name out there currently?
Jordan Grace. Currently, right now, it's Jordan Grace.
Who's the bigger name out there?
Oh, out there currently.
Yeah, besides like Jordan Grace is your one. Who would beat Jordan Grace / who would be number 2?
Ooh. On the women's side?
If the rumors are true, Britt Baker?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, Britt's out there now. In terms of people not were like released recently, let's like walk back a month before releases, like when Tessa got signed. That's hard. That's real hard. Alley Catch, maybe. I mean, it's just there's not that many like Rena, but Rena doesn't really make sense for TNA.
No.
Same with Maki. Maki's big, but she's also Japanese, and she's going to mainly work TJPW. Like in terms of American Rachel Ellering, I don't even know if she's working anymore. It's like
that's a good one.
I don't actually know. Like there's just so many. They're like Sawyer Wreck.
No.
I don't know. I really don't know. Who's left in CMLL right now?
I was gonna say
Right?
somebody stupid just to fucking make Sleazy pissed off.
Go ahead.
Sexy star.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
but it's a new section.
You. Oh, God. What a fucking asshole.
Yep. You know that she invented women's wrestling.
Because The Rock told her.
Yeah, and there would never have been a women's revolution if it wasn't for her.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
I don't even know.
That's according to her.
She's an idiot.
Ryan, what do you think of the match?
I knew how it was going to go down, figuring that was going to be like the swan song. Didn't expect much of it, but knew it should have been good. Personally, I wasn't disappointed. Obviously, the right kid died. I just think Jordan Gray should go number one in the Rumble and win it all. Personally. I quit. Josh Alexander, Mike Santana. Also, that the Northern Armory are banned from ringside.
23 minutes and 15 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3.5 stars.
He should have just gave him another quarter star to get the deets off.
He didn't know.
If this is what they wanted to do, and they were putting Mike Santana in the Josh Alexander spot in the TNA roster,
Yeah.
that's exactly what they did. Josh is leaving. You might get him on the taping. I'm still trying to hunt down the taping, if there has been one since Genesis. So I don't know if it's a live show or if they're taping today or tomorrow. Or
I think it's live. I think they announced it on the show as it being
they have a live taping. Yeah, and that's why I couldn't find it. I wasn't too sure.
Let me just double check.
The only thing I've seen was they're thinking about doing a taping out of Full Sail.
Oh.
Well, realistically, this partnership's going to open that door for them. Josh leaving, again, quitting, Mike Santana, everything like that. It was the nice. I'll credit this to when Omega left and told Ospreay, here you go, buddy. Your turn now. You ran your mountain. You wanted the ball, now take it. And he left. This is the caliber to me of Omega going, okay, Ospreay, now's your chance. Sink or swim.
Especially considering his entire career was, I'm the new LAX, and I want to get away from Ortiz and be my own man. And, well, this is your time. This is your spot. Make the most of it. Because if you don't, you're going to be fucking jacking off in the low mid card for the rest of your career.
According to
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Dave Meltzer. I think we just say it like that to mess it up to get it a bunch of times in.
Nope. According to TNA Impact News, never even fucking heard of these guys. The Walking Weapon is set to appear at the TNA tapings in San Antonio. The report notes that these shows could mark his last. Unless there's a shift in his plans, Alexander is looking to explore opportunities elsewhere. Is expected his TNA contract will run out next month, signaling the end of his current contract. At this time, there's no indication where Alexander might land.
Okay, first of all, he absolutely knows where he's going to land. That is bullshit on a whole new level. Okay, second of all, the fact that he's booked for the tapings but is already quit says a lot.
They say that on live, like live on the pay-per-view. Though. You're scheduled to be on taping, buddy. You got to be here. So angle.
Okay. And number 3 is the match itself. I know they were trying to go for something super violent. It just didn't come through to me. And I honestly thought it went a little too long. Like you take 10 minutes off that and make it really tight and really violent, that would have been a better match.
I think in hindsight, because of how vicious the Clockwork House is, you're not looking at the violence of this match.
That's also true. And to be fair, we had the breather of the tag match, but it wasn't enough. This should have been way earlier in the card if they were going to do that.
Fair enough. I'll agree with that.
Would you give it?
I gave it 3.5 still.
Well, Josh, I am sorry.
No, you didn't.
Your run as the king of the 4-star matches has ended.
It's only because it's going away, isn't it?
It is.
This was good, but
you know I'm going to bring it up to him on Twitter, right?
Popping right up after a C4, Mike Santana, fuck you.
Yeah, that's true.
No selling a leg for the last few minutes of the match when Alexander was working on the whole fucking match. Fuck you. And it did go too long. 5 to 7 minutes. 3 1/4. I was not feeling this. It just, I don't know. Good match still.
It's biased because he was leaving. It's absolutely what it is.
No, it's not.
I don't have a better answer.
I just spilled
You
soda
don't
all
have a
over
better-
myself.
You're just like, no, fuck it.
I spilled soda all over myself.
Man, I really love 3 tag team matches on one card.
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
I do. TNA tag team title match. The Hardys defend against the Rascals.
14 minutes, Christian Thompson gave this the Mike Sanders.
I am all for the TNA Hardy Boys reunion, or the last ride, I'll call it. Now with the deal, we're going to get them versus Fraxium with the T's. I'm all for that. I think the Hardys will win the TNA tag titles.
The Hardys are already the TNA.
Or the NXT tag champions.
I thought they set up Fraxium and the Rascals more than they set up Fraxium and.
But the Rascals have a tag title match still that they never got to use because of like an attack, remember? Which turned Wesley heel. Like they still technically have that match, like all of that nonsense.
True.
It is a way to get the Hardys in TNA, or from TNA to NXT.
And this is another one of these matches where I went, does WWE have a say on who won this match?
I mean,
we want these guys to feud with these guys. You know, like, would that be like, we want the Rascals to lose, so champion versus champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard pressed to look at it that way.
Okay. As for the match, this was the worst match on the show. It was boring. There was not much to it. The only thing noteworthy coming out of this was, again, I thought they were setting up Rascals versus Fraxium more than they set up the Hardys versus Fraxium, because there was an interaction between Fraxium and the Rascals more.
But the Rascals have the title shot.
Yes.
Champions versus champions is more where you're going to look. I'm telling you, this is our podcast. We're getting Worlds Claude.
Well, 100%. 100% we're getting that. But 2 stars? I just was not feeling this match at all.
Sleazy.
it was the greatest hits of Hardy's. You know, that's all it was. I mean, if you liked their match, their matches from the last few years, and just hitting the hits and calling it a day, then this is for you. It wasn't for me. 2 stars.
But that's all you're going to get out of them is the best hits of Hardy's.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And if you like that, that's great. It is, you have to craft it as it's the nostalgia run. And that's fine. If you like the Hardys in that way, that's fine. I used to love the Hardys. I thought Jeff was a huge star. And then
cocaine happened.
But yeah, it just at this point in their careers, they're just wringing out the washcloth, so to speak, and seeing what's left. That's fine, and it's fine.
Broken Matt Hardy, when the Hardys come back, WrestleMania 34.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H is in charge then, instead of now. Do they stick with the Broken Hardy gimmick better?
Probably, because I think Triple H would get it more than Vince would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the whole thing with bringing Wyatt into it kind of destroyed it because it was its own little thing. You know what I mean?
Wyatt was the segue to get it justified in WWE eyes.
Yeah, and it didn't need that. It really didn't need that. But you're also talking to somebody who watched the two of them play around in WrestleMania doing it. So whatever, it's fine. Like I said, just like this match, whatever, it's fine. You like what you like, and it wasn't what I like anymore.
Batman?
Already talked about the match.
Just making sure. Stoned, couldn't remember. Sleazy.
Yeah.
I heard you like violent, blood-filled women's wrestling.
Oh, I do.
Master Savage defends the Knockouts Championship against Rosemary in a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match.
AKA Raymond's Rules. 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Christian Thompson gave us 3.5 stars.
Sleazy.
You're the one who's wrestling enthusiast?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was violent. I thought it was well put together. I thought they did a great job of introducing the weapons throughout it all. I love the thumbtack spot, was really fun. Oh God. The surprising thing here, I guess, was I think the wrong kid died.
The surprising thing is how Masha didn't break her fucking neck on that ladder spot. That's the surprising
I thought,
part.
yeah.
I watched that. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, yes, but it could have gone worse. Let's just put it that way. But there were just so many just violent spots in this, and I really enjoyed it. And it was definitely a match you would have seen in GCW.
Yes.
Plug.
So, by the way, 3 stars. I didn't like it. What was your star rating? 4. I gave it 3. I kind of basically.
Too violent for you.
It wasn't too violent for me. It was substitute the notes for the I Quit match into this one, where they just were doing spots for spot stake and not selling anything. And I'm just like, oh, cool. You landed on thumbtacks. Let's get right back up and set up another spot for me to go through it. Like near the end, they started selling because I think they actually were hurt. But like in the beginning, especially Masha, when she ran through that fucking table.
Yeah, God damn it.
I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm surprised she didn't break her neck or get a concussion.
So Fatman and I are saying the exact same thing. It's a GCW match.
One likes GCW more than the other. There you go.
Before we talk about the main event, Cora Jade comes out, stare down with Slamovich. I don't know if it's going to lead to a TNA thing, Worlds Collide, or whatever shit's going to be before Stand and Deliver.
Right. I mean, Asha came out on NXT during the Cora Jade match. Cora Jade delivered. Simple way to set up a feud. I mean, that's all it was. Don't need to overbook it.
Pro wrestling.
What?
Don't need to overbook it. PAW! Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Ooh, I sneezed there for a little bit. Jesus.
That was a bit aggressive.
Yeah, we do slow burns here in team.
That hurt. That hurt a lot.
Sure did. That might have been a bit, but I think it was true.
Main event time for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Ryan Nemeth banned from ringside because he's a piece of shit. Nick Nemeth defends the title against the man that we all believe in, Joe Hendry. Fatman, 4 months too late. How long was this match?
19 minutes and 10 seconds. Christian Thompson gave us the deets.
This was 4 months too late. Should have won a month ago, but now Joe Hendry gets his flowers because the contract with because I think all night, Fatman, you've been asking. Think WWE had influence on something? Do you think WWE had influence on something?
It was leading. It was leading to this match.
Right fucking here.
Specifically. Yes, I think this was the one match. I purposely said it throughout for almost every title match except for the TNA Knockouts title. This was the match I think WWE had the most influence in.
Whether they meant to or not.
So once again, Dolph Ziggler gets screwed by WWE Creative.
Well, I think this match was booked before the agreement, but I think WWE was all like, okay, Joe's been on our show. Can we give him the title? And then we can work with him too. So, yeah.
We can have him, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Dolph can still do his thing wherever he wants to go. As far as the match goes, it started slow, but got very, very good in the last 5 minutes. Right Kid died. I honestly thought that Kaz was cashing in afterwards. My brain now, when the WWE merger went, that's never going to happen. So, I mean, he teased it during the match. At least he teased it. I like that aspect.
Well, he teased it beforehand, too. Like
he's been teasing it since he won it.
Yeah.
He's been teasing it since he won it. Because
Yeah.
that's how Money in the Bank works.
Yes. And I honestly,
don't.
I honestly thought that this would be the spot where, yes, kind of like the Josh Alexander thing from a couple years ago. He wins the title, finally, and then Kaz cashes in. But they did not do that. I kind of think that was the right call. Give Hendry his moment.
No, because it went so well when Moose did it to Josh Alexander.
It did.
When Josh Alexander beat Christian, it was, and nobody saw it coming. And then he did it with his family in the ring. Like,
heel heat.
Frankie Kazarian is that piece of shit.
Yes, but I do think it was a right decision not to do it here. So
fair.
If he's, I wouldn't be surprised if Hendry has like a TNA title match on an NXT show and he cashes in then. That would be, you get more eyeballs on the product, and yeah, that might be where they do it too.
Sleazy?
4 stars, by the way. It was a great match.
Wow. So I'm the asshole here. 2.5.
Why?
Yes, you are.
I thought the first half was terrible. I think you're right. It picked up in the end, but still. I don't think it was terrible, but it wasn't great. I hate
but
it.
I'll pull the deets, or not the deets. I'll pull the Ryan out of this. Look at the crowd reaction and tell me how horrible that match was.
Well, yeah, but this is definitely Hogan Rock territory. In that respect.
What?
It's definitely Hogan Rock territory in that respect.
What?
Hogan Rock?
What?
Hogan
Goddamn.
Rock?
He's being an asshole.
Hollywood?
What?
Hogan?
I was saying boo other.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with JBL here.
Everywhere. It's the greatest hits of clotheslines. I don't care what fed you're in. I don't care what part of the world you're in. I don't care if you're at WrestleMania or if you're at JCW fucking Palooza 28. JBL could show up and clothesline the hell out of you.
I mean, I'm not into it, but I'm just like, why? I need to know why. That's where I'm coming from. Is like, are we just being the last outlaw sheriff? Is that where we're going with all this? Okay, that's cool. Whatever.
He is a hired gun.
But he isn't a hired gun here.
Who?
JBL.
I don't think he's a hired gun in this circumstance. I think he's being equitable in his clotheslines from said hell.
The guy is getting paid to walk slowly down, hit a clothesline, and walk slowly back.
Oh, I am not. I am. How dare you even insinuate to the fact
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. Good for him, is what I'm saying. Like,
oh yeah, get that back, motherfucker.
It was intriguing when he first started to do it at the end of last year. Now it's just all like, why?
Yeah, and that's kind of my point.
So,
you're making my point exactly for me. But yeah, yes, Joe Hendry got his flowers. Unfortunately, they've been sitting in the vase for 4 months too long, and they're all dead. There's the problem.
Oh, wow, dude. Wow.
I like the man. I think he's great. I think he has a keen sense of timing more than most wrestlers do. Like he understands the timing aspect of it. And I think even he would sit here and say, the ball passed me here. And I think that here's the hope is that the new partnership will help reinvigorate him as the champion. But absolutely, he won it way too late. The momentum he had to catapult TNA into another level, that moment's gone.
No, it's not.
I was going to say, as much as I kind of agree with you, I think it is 4 months too late. Biggest crowd TNA's had in years. The pop he got when he won the title.
Finally.
I don't think that moment's gone. They probably...
In terms of what they were trying to capitalize on, I agree. I disagree with that. In terms
Absolutely wrong. You know what they wanted to capitalize on? Worldwide acknowledgement. People seeing them that have never seen them before. And the first show that happens, Joe Hendry's your world champion. The first show that has, but this is what I mean. The first show that had any absolute influence of a WWE sprinkled partnership on it ended with probably WWE's favorite guy from that Fed as the world champion.
My rebuttal to that is this. Let's say that is a good rebuttal. No, I think that it's revisionist thinking because we now know that they're partnered again. I'm saying that ignore the partnership that just was announced. If the partnership never was announced, then they lost their moment with him because they've renewed it and now they put the title on him. Yeah, they're restarting the engine, so to speak, but that doesn't mean that the engine got cooled.
Plans have been the same since Crown Jewel, bro.
Yeah, well, Crown Jewel was a piece of shit show.
Can Crown Mud Jewel.
Yeah, it can suck my Crown Jewel.
Okay. Final thoughts on the show.
Good show. Not the best, not the worst.
Sleazy?
Yeah. Pretty much. NXT yo. Let's see the 2025 turn into a beautiful year for TNA. And indirectly, GCW.
Good segue. Let's talk about PCO.
Hold on. No, I want to bring this up first because I don't know if I'm going to be on for the rest of it for all the news and rumors.
Okay.
My Reddit quote of the week is actually from Twitter.
Ooh.
The post is, I'll ask you guys the question first. and then I'll say what the response is. Dominic Mysterio handed a piece of paper to Chad Gable, said, and he went, so this is where I learned the dark arts of Lucha Libre, eh? Yeah, cool. Nice to have it. Whose number did Dominic Mysterio give Chad Gable? Mind you, to teach him the dark arts of Lucha Libre to be able to combat Penta.
Eddie Guerrero, just to be a dick.
Funny. Dominic
Broken
Mysterio
wire.
Dominic Mysterio pretended like it was an actually good thing because he was like, well, it's always good to have a favor from Chad Gable if we need it. So to him, it's a legitimate source of a master of the dark arts of Lucha Libre and how to combat the dark arts of Lucha Libre.
How to combat the dark arts of Lucha Libre.
Liv Morgan.
How to combat... Like, the first thing that comes to my mind is Lucha Underground, so therefore King Cuerno, Santos Escobar.
That was the initial response that somebody else had said initially, which was a logical one. Conan, Vampiro, logic is.
Yeah, somebody from that era.
This guy's answer was great. It was the number to an ICE agent for deportation. Speaking of deportation, so PCO lost his work visa, did he?
I guess so.
The industry veteran caused quite a stir at the People vs. GCW event this past weekend when he pulled out the TNA Digital Media Championship and attempted to destroy it with a sledgehammer following his matchup. PCO to WWE confirmed. Fightful Select reported that PCO was acting on his own, diverting from the planned storyline. He grabbed the microphone to cut a promo, but PCO's ring announcer quickly took it from him, and the company cut to a video to end the segment.
Immediately, yep.
GCW claimed that they were caught off guard by the incident and thought it was part of an upcoming TNA storyline. They soon realized it wasn't. In an update, TNA was reportedly shocked over PCO's actions. He was supposed to finish his run with the company at the next taping in San Antonio, with his contract set to expire at the end of the year. As it stands, TNA is not expecting for him to return. TNA is also furious over the situation. The company says that PCO had used a replica title, not the real championship, which was still possessed. Close sources to PCO deny this. And this is what they denied, claiming he had the real title. Not that it was against the storyline or nothing. No, well, we had a real title. It'd be the PCO was frustrated over his contract not being renewed and acted out as a result. Now, going back to the question I've asked all night, do you think WWE had a hand in them TNA not re-signing certain talent, i.e. PCO?
Why do you think that he was blackballed from WWE?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if they're having a working relationship, they want to work with I'm not saying they have to work with PCO, but because they don't. But I'm assuming since this is a multi-year partnership, they'll work with at least almost anyone on the show. So PCO is kind of a big name for TNA. It makes, again, I'm pulling the Sleazy. Normally he's a conspiracy theorist out of this. It makes sense for them not to want to work with PCO. So they probably just told TNA his contract expired at the end of the year. If you want this, yeah, I can see it. I can see it happening. I don't think that's what happened, but I can see it. I can see WWE going, we don't want to work with him.
Here's my...
Why would we? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's a couple of questions I have out of this, and maybe this is just naivete with how PCO has been over the years, and just in general what's going on here. Was there? I was not under the impression that
there was bad blood.
There's bad blood between the two of them.
So, if you're going to be working with NXT, mostly that's what team we're working with.
Right.
Shawn Michaels kind of runs NXT. Him and PCO do not get along.
Okay.
No,
Well,
but that was
that makes sense.
pre-Jesus Shawn Michaels.
That was pre-Jesus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But Shawn Michaels has also badmouthed him in recent... Not recently, but after Jesus has badmouthed him.
So post Jesus still doesn't like
In Shawn...
Pierre and
I read Shawn Michaels' book. It was post-Jesus.
Okay.
And he badmouthed the fuck out of him. So,
So there's
there is
probably
bad.
heat there.
There's heat.
So there's heat. Okay. Well, that doesn't. Well, I mean, that could. You might be onto something there then.
You might have a point.
I guess that was the I guess that was this whole thing. I don't understand why GCW. See, I don't get any of this, because if they didn't think there, you said his contract was up at the end of the year, right? End of 2024.
I'm pretty sure, according to this article, it said at the end of the year. So I'm assuming it was 2024.
They left the title on the man as his contract expired.
TNA's
That seems stupid to me. That's the other piece out of all of this that makes me think that it's more of a work, but it's always a work, bro. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's GCW would be the place to do something like that, and play it up as oh my God, they went off script, because GCW is very good at blurring that line way more than other promotions. And GCW, let's be honest here, the Hammerstein Ballroom, the history of the Hammerstein Ballroom shows is very well noted in GCW's history. They tried it once before and got their ass handed to them financially because of it. So this time when they came back, this was like a redemption story for them in of itself. So to have guys like PCO on it and all these big names on the show meant a lot to them. So to have an angle that was like, oh my God, you need to take a look at this product. I think PCO doing that would be the perfect thing to do that with. Now, obviously, there was another notable event that happened at GCW later on that night that wasn't as positive. But if you're going to pull an angle like that, that wouldn't be a bad place to do it.
You're wrong.
You're not wrong, but again, if WWE's having a working relationship with TNA, why would TNA allow an angle to be on a GCW show?
WWE works with GCW.
They do.
That is true.
Bloodsport, baby.
That is true. Okay.
How do you think Tom Peastock walked in there and did shit? No joke.
MVP went on Bloodsport before his contract expired with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, you guys are right. I completely forgot about that. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Let's talk about Allie first. You kind of briefly mentioned it before.
God damn it.
Bet she was winning. Bet she was winning.
Yep.
I
gotta go and
don't post. Don't post.
No, I'm not gonna post it.
Why?
Fuck
you! You show Sid's like break. No, that's fucking hypocritical.
We didn't show Sid.
Well, ironically enough, you will be able to see it with the link I'm about to send into the chat. It's the GoFundMe for her. Please, if you obviously a couple bucks, throw it towards her, please. But the main shot is her with her foot like.
Yeah, that was when you sent that video. I was like, holy shit!
Like I was watching it and it was just like, oh shit! And they were scrambling for a good 20 minutes afterwards. Obviously, they did. Both bones were broken. She went into surgery to have it put back together, obviously, because it was a massive break. Yep. If you watched the show, you heard it break. it was just a freak crazy accident that didn't, like obviously
It wasn't a crazy spot. It was just a dive.
It was just
it
a
was
dive.
Just dive to the outside and snap,
crackle, pop.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies.
What's that?
Kellogg's Rice Krispies.
Yeah,
they're not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor yet.
On Monday morning, a report surfaced of having a stroke. That former AEW former AEW Women's Champion Britt Baker was on the verge of being phased out of the promotion due to her backstage attitude and difficult nature that made her widely unpopular backstage. However, speaking on Wrestling Observer Live with Brian Alvarez, suggests that the reports of Baker being on the outside AEW are blown way out of proportion. While it is true that AEW doesn't appear to have any immediate creative plans for her, Alvarez reports that there's nothing to her being finished with AEW.
That's what they all say.
Last wrestled for AEW back in November. So Brian Alvarez, who works closely with Dave Meltzer, who works very closely with AEW, is reporting that there is no backstage heat at all. I don't believe him.
Of course not.
Ilya Dragunov reportedly had a schedule for his knee injury.
Just to prove this, I always want to do to say this. A lot of times we put over GoFundMe's and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the actual Alley Catch GoFundMe, and actually, oops, wrong screen.
He is porn on the other screen.
Probably.
Absolutely, it is.
It's fine. We go a little long tonight.
Yeah.
I have tomorrow off and no sports show.
So legitimately, on behalf of the wrestling show, we're giving her $40.
Cool.
So
his card number's there, so you can steal it.
It's the only last 4. It's fine.
I will still steal it. Is it an American Express card, even though it's not? It's taking forever to load.
So obviously, if we can help her, send some money towards her. Okay.
So news on where WrestleMania 42 might be. The rumor, according to WrestleBoats, God, take this with a grain of salt, is that WWE is going to do a press conference Super Bowl weekend, which is in New Orleans, to announce WrestleMania next year in New Orleans.
Smart.
Well, they did it last year, didn't they?
Yes, they did actually.
So that's not as much of a stretch as some people claim, but it's also pretty obvious.
Yes, I honestly believe. I think WrestleMania is going to be in Indianapolis next year because they have that 3 deal with Rumble, Mania, and SummerSlam, and with SummerSlam being in Minneapolis next year, and Rumble being this year, it only makes sense for them to go to WrestleMania Indianapolis next year, and then SummerSlam the year after that, and then their contract is fulfilled. I think it's going to be okay. Bye.
Yeah,
Ryan.
I figured we were going to lose Ryan eventually.
I think it's Indianapolis. I hope it's not New Orleans because PTSD. But yeah.
Yeah.
AEW considering moving Double or Nothing away from Las Vegas to WrestleMania 41. What? AEW has been a little bit more guarded on their location for their upcoming events. There appears to be a good reason for that. Double or Nothing has reportedly been held in Las Vegas each of the last 3 years and 4 out of 6 because of the pandemic. Because there's major discussions on that front to move it away from doing WrestleMania 41, which will be held in the city just a month before. It's a month. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know people are like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?"
Also, AEW is unlikely to publicly release their details, locations for their upcoming pay-per-view schedule that they did last year, and one of the reasons for that is a strategic decision to avoid WWE running events in the same markets, thus lowering the chances of head-to-head clash. Last year, AEW announced their Rolls End pay-per-view in Orlando. WWE ultimately ran an event in the same city on the same day for them to be damaging, but WWE didn't run an event in Orlando on the same day. Okay, cool. I know that WWE is running a Saturday night's main event against All In.
I still don't care about that. Okay, let's talk about this because I'm really getting pissed about this shit. Because first of all, no one gives a fuck, right?
One person does. Well, more than one person does. The main person is Tony Khan, and then his little troll marks are complaining about it.
Okay, fair. The people who matter don't care.
There you go.
Because if you have any fucking brains at all nowadays, have you ever tried to go to even a house show anymore for WWE? Or a taping?
Well,
not a house show, not a taping. Or not a house show, but a taping. Raw taping, SmackDown taping.
So I am not, because most of the time they're in Buffalo, which is about 90 minutes from where I live, and I normally work at 7 in the morning. Those taping ends at 11 at night. Get home at 1 or 2. I gotta be at work at 7, or I gotta be up at 5. So I'm getting 2-3 hours of sleep. I'm old. So no, I have not tried to do that lately.
The reason why I bring it up is, and we kind of saw it a little bit with WrestleMania, but it's happening with every show. If you try and get tickets to a Raw, a SmackDown, NXT, not really, but like even these.
Well, okay, I lied. I went to an NXT show in October, so there.
Okay, fair. But that wasn't Stand Deliver. That was just. Oh yeah, it was No Mercy.
It was Halloween Havoc.
Or Halloween Havoc. No Mercy. God damn it. No Mercy was someplace else, wasn't it?
No Mercy, I think was No Mercy was someplace else. I went to Hershey for that. No, I think No Mercy was like in Texas somewhere. I think, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Okay, so ignore NXT stuff because they make that a little bit more accessible to people. Case in point, we went to Stand and Deliver and not WrestleMania. But all the main roster shows, those fucking tickets are unbelievably expensive. They sell out immediately, and
third party,
and immediately they're third party for hundreds of dollars over asking. And it's gotten to the point where these shows that WWE is doing, you're starting to see some of the same people in the crowd now, because they're the ones. They're almost touring like fucking groupies with these people, with these shows now.
It's like Sign Guy, but
yeah, Vladimir.
Yes.
But all these guys are now, you're seeing more and more of the same fans over and over and over again with the same shows, the same people in there because they can afford it, because they're the only ones that can afford to pay $700 a show every show to go see these shows. And if at this point, those people are locked into WWE. They're not going to an AEW show. If they're spending $7, $8, $9, $1,000 every major show and literally touring the major shows, they're not going to go to AEW. Even if it's on the same night, even if it's on a different night, it doesn't matter. Because they're locked into one wrestling company. That's fine. If that's what you like, that's what you like. We've said this before. If you just like AEW, just like AEW. If you just like GCW, just like GCW. If you like fucking New Japan, if you like fucking Joshi Wrestling, it doesn't matter. The point is that you're not going to pull people away from that if they're deciding to run on another show on the same night. You've already got tickets announced. You already had people that were coming to your show. They're not going to abandon your show and go the other way. And if they are, they're just going to sell the tickets to somebody who does want to go.
Right. And I think they sold 10,000 tickets to All In, which is not bad. For a stadium show, I know it's, 6 months away still. They announced the tickets, November? That's not great. 2 months for 10,000
Doesn't
tickets.
matter, though. That's the thing, though.
So you always say it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters more for AEW than it does WWE. 100%.
Fair. Yeah, you're correct.
100%.
Yeah.
So it does matter. But for them, and I will say, and I'll say this, both will be live.
Mm-hmm.
For us here in America, if I had a choice to watch one or the other live, it would be All In.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can watch Saturday Night's Main Event on Peacock the next day. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's so easily accessible to where I can just watch it the next day. So I would watch the one I can watch once live over the one I can watch tomorrow. That's the way I see it. I'm like, and again, I'm not the biggest AEW fan, but if I had to pick one to watch, if I'm not going to them, it's going to be All In.
I mean, you're right, absolutely. Because let's be honest here. What happens on a Saturday Night Main Event?
You get matches that are about 10. Get 3 to 4 matches, about 10, 11 minutes long. Maybe some storyline development, but not much. WWE's going to build to it, and then they're going to get, like I said, 10-minute match, and then that's it. It's maybe one surprise.
Yeah. And that surprise will be how loudly does Hogan get booed out of the arena.
Right.
It's just, and with all due respect, the Saturday Night Main Events of old were there because they were running 4 pay-per-views a year.
And also, because
Clash of Champions.
Saturday Night Live was
also that, yeah,
taking a hiatus, and they needed content.
That's also true. Content. But I'm just saying that look at it from the perspective of what was that product really doing? It was filling time. It was filling.
It was filling a space. It was filling a cheap space for NBC to put on at 11 o'clock at night to pop a rating.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. And that's what they're doing now. It's going to be a live show that's going to be produced at a relatively lower cost than what it would be for a Saturday Night Live to be produced, or any sitcom or drama show. Because let's face it, a live wrestling show costs less to produce than an actual episode of television.
Yeah.
And it's first run content, and it's going to get you a good rating. That's what it's for. It's not to compete. They have these contracts. And that's another thing. You think WWE is going to NBC and go, okay, we want this day, this day, this day, this day. No, it's the opposite. NBC is going to WWE and go, we want this day, this day, this day, this day. It's not WWE going to NBC. NBC is going to WWE picking these dates.
Because they're the one in control of the contract.
Yes. So it doesn't matter. Oh, WWE's doing this, blah, blah, blah. WWE doesn't pick the date. NBC does.
They don't care. You just hear, people just want to hear what they want to hear. And it's, oh my God, WWE is once again fucking my product.
Your product, listen, look at the guy running the company and tell me your product is fucked already.
Yeah. You know me, I'm going to sit here and defend the fact that we need another large company. I don't think that Tony Khan has the right people in the right spots. He's starting to get some people in the right spots. They're starting to get some good movement here and there.
He needs to back away from creative and just let someone run his company.
Right.
He thinks he's Vince McMahon and he's not.
No.
Let's just face it. He thinks he's Vince McMahon. He
should just play the character of Vince McMahon, and that's it.
Yeah, if he's on TV 4 times a year, cool. 4 times a year, fine. I mean, but he doesn't know how to run a wrestling company, and that's been his, like the honeymoon phase of AEW wore off, and it sucks that the pandemic happened 4 months after, or 6 months or whatever after they debuted. It sucked for them, and I felt bad for them. And I said, well, let's get through this pandemic phase, and their creative just got, and they're more about dream match. That's their storyline, dream match.
Yeah. Because they bring in talent and they're going, well, where's the shiny toy can go now, you know?
Yeah, and
like they blew their load with Ricochet versus Will Ospreay already.
Yep.
Like, why would you even try that? Save that. That is a big moment for a year down the line when you can build to it.
Some of the best AEW matches that I've rated is because there's a story involved. Mm-hmm. And maybe the action's been absolutely fantastic in the other ones, but it didn't emotionally invest me. I'm like, oh, that match was great. Who cares? Like, what did it's not going to leave me with the emotion of a Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
And yet they did have a moment last year of that at Wrestle Dream. Yeah, you say that, but that was a big deal. It was the start of a new faction, and honestly, it was the end of Bryan Danielson, you know. So it mattered in that respect. Whether or not you agree with how they did it is almost irrelevant at that point, because it was meant to be that moment, and they captured that moment. And
the momentum they built on it gave them what? And that's another thing too. They had, okay, so say I didn't personally like it. Okay, cool. You did. Mm-hmm. Are you watching the weeklies every week? Are you like, this is must-see TV?
Well, I mean, now I am, because it's on Max, but here you're right in that respect, because they've done nothing with the progression of it. Yeah. They all they're doing is just throwing roadblocks in front of the Death Riders without giving them
earning it.
Yeah, there's no. Okay, cool. We got FTR and Edge going, or Cope. Yo, dog, let's talk Cope.
Yeah, because I think we all got to cope with this shit,
right? But what's the point of them just showing up? Okay, cool, whatever. Like it that doesn't make any sense, other than it's another roadblock for Moxley until they eventually get to, I assume, Darby Allin after he gets off the fucking mountain again. You know, which is another bullshit thing I want to point out. If you're going to strap the fucking title on Darby Allin, he best be fucking there. What the fuck?
Instead of trying to die on a mountain.
Jesus Christ. Okay, it's one thing for them to be independent contractors and have them do whatever the fuck they want on the side. If you are planning on building the company around this man, okay, and you're going to do this huge fucking storyline and build it up to the point where he's the savior of the company, where the fuck is he? You should be there. Cody Rhodes, look at fucking Cody. Like, that
he's a SmackDown guy who's on Raw half the time.
Not just on Raw, on every fucking promotional tour. Yep. He's doing shit on his day off. He's doing product placements. He's doing fucking third-party stuff. He's on fucking not Good Mythical Morning. He was on something else that was like a YouTube show recently. I'm like, it's like, what the fuck, dude? Take a day off for fuck's sake. But the man constantly fucking works because he's a fucking champion of WWE. And if Darby Allin thinks that winning the AEW championship means that he can go fuck off again on the mountain, that's a problem. That's not how you're supposed to do business.
No.
And that's like guys like Orange Cassidy should be in that spot if they're going to do that kind of stuff, because Orange Cassidy does that kind of shit too. You know, and I think the mentality of some of the guys that Tony's booking aren't in that same realm because of how Tony is booking it. Does that make any sense? Like he's choosing the people because he likes them, not because they'd be good for the company as flag bearers.
So, this is interesting. On last night's, this is a couple days ago, but last night's AEW's Dynamite, the company's plan for next month's Grand Slam Australia was revealed, with the event taking place in Brisbane on February 15th, which is a Saturday.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, okay, this is a pay-per-view. After Australia native Tony Storm won the Casino Gauntlet match to earn a chance against Mariah May, a graphic was displayed. The start of the event would be on 8 p.m. on TNT and on Max.
So it's being a simulcast Rampage, but Rampage doesn't exist anymore. Collision.
The special takes place at 5:30 p.m. local Brisbane time, which equates to 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. That would mean that Grand Slam Australia will air on an almost 18-hour tape delay on TNT in place of that week's Collision.
So it's basically a Collision. So you're doing a tape delayed.
I thought it was a pay-per-view.
I thought it was a pay-per-view too.
Ba, 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 ba. One more bit of news. I know we're running long. Kind of wrestling related. Legendary broadcaster Bob Uecker passed away.
Yeah, I heard.
WWE Hall of Famer Bob Uecker passed away.
Voice of the Brewers.
Correct.
Okay. Forgive me. I'm obviously.
He's also obviously he had that iconic moment of WrestleMania, I think 4, with Andre choking him, his head wobbling back and forth. He was also WrestleMania 3, and then if you're a movie fan like I am, Major League, he was in that movie too.
He was an announcer in that too, wasn't he?
Yep, and he was in Major League 2, and then those Miller Lite commercials in the 80s too. So, again. If you want to listen to a very great Hall of Fame speech, this is actually about the Baseball Hall of Fame. Go watch his speech. Yeah. It's got to be one of the most funniest, emotional speeches, 20-minute speech you'll ever see in your life. It's probably one of the best Hall of Fame speeches. Just go back, listen to that. Again, as a sports fan, I had MLB.TV. You have it broadcast, television, radio, and if the Brewers were playing and I was driving home, always fun on the radio, always fun on Bob Uecker. That famous home run called "Get Up, Get Out, Gone." It's like his voice. So, RIP Bob, Hall of Famer Bob Uecker. What is Wiggles doing?
Throwing up.
Of course he is. And okay.
On that note, I'm Matt Tito Sleazy.
Hey.
Oh, fuck you. We are SleazyFatman, X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. Well, TikTok's back. It lasted as long as Drew McIntyre's title run.
I saw that. That was funny.
You can find, please like and follow us there. Find our videos at twitch.tv/SleazyFatman, youtube.com/SleazyFatman, premium content on that, OnlyFans. We'll probably actually put stuff on there eventually. I don't know what we'll do there. I know we've jokingly had it for years now, but we haven't actually used it. We might use it as a way to do like cool like one-offs or something. I don't know. Maybe that's where things. But one of the things that I want to do for 2025 for us is to kind of utilize our
social media more.
Yeah, because we don't really use it.
No,
we do promote our shows here and there, but we don't really like actively put other stuff out there, and we really want to do that. Same with the wrestlingshow.com. There are articles you can get to our merch store, which includes a bunch of cool stuff new for TWS After Dark. But yeah, so much more there and so much more to come through 2025. I know that I'm also going to be refreshing some things with the show itself too, including our intros and whatnot. So keep an eye out for that. Oh yeah. Like I'm going to try and gussy up our promo stuff, but with a thank you and then fuck you to Ryan. And as always for Sleazy,
for the Fatman,
this is a wrestling show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Tony Khan and his alleged coke habit. A hot dog's on a sandwich, a sub is on a sandwich, a burger is a sandwich. Tacos and burritos are not sandwiches, you Indiana fuck. So if you're going to the Royal Rumble and they tell you a taco burrito is a sandwich, tell them to fuck off. Next week, I guess as we talked about it, all freaking almost most of the newsroom, Saturday night's main event.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain in the game. The bloodshed in your name. When there's nothing to gain.